you.
I would like for you to begin by letting us know who you are and how you identify yourself.
Okay, well, my name's Christopher Camp. I answer to Chris. I also have another nickname that I'm known by in the community. I'm also known as Sky, S-K-Y-E.
Okay.
So Sky. Let's see, I'm 62 years old. I will turn 63 in January.
Wow.
I have been living with HIV for over 36 years.
Wow, 36 years.
Yeah, I was initially diagnosed in May of 1986. And at that time I went in and it was all anonymous testing at first. So they asked me what my name was and I said Ronald Reagan. And they said, you're the 7th Ronald Reagan we've seen today,
yes.
Which is fine.
Popular name, right.
So yeah, and then I'd never been into a health department or a STD clinic before or anything like that, so I was kind of like totally freaked out about being in this place. And they said I need to come back in and get my results, and I said, you don't understand, I'm not coming back. and so it's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this.
Yes.
So they gave me a couple of passwords that I had and everything, so that like they could give me the results over the phone.
Okay.
So anyway, so I went into work. I can remember when I got the phone call. It's burned into my brain. So it was like 3:17 in the afternoon. We were in a tornado warning. I was in Richardson, which is north of Dallas. I was working at Northern Telecom at the time.
Okay.
I was payroll manager for all these hotels and everything all over the place. And when I got the phone call and heard it, I felt like I was shot in between the eyes.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, but I can remember everybody who was in the office. I can remember who was wearing what clothes.
Wow, it's emblazoned.
It's
in
absolutely
memory,
burned into my brain.
Wow,
And
yeah.
I had been working as a volunteer at the AIDS Resource Center in Dallas since 1983. And that is also known by another name. It's also known as the Dallas Buyers Club. So if you saw the movie Dallas Buyers Club, that was about the AIDS Resource Center in Dallas.
Yes.
And now all of the AIDS groups and
history.
Everything down there are named after all of my mentors who are no longer around. So you'd have like the John Thomas Center and the Terry Tebow Center and all that kind of stuff. So
well, let me ask you, what did you do when you, like you said, you have that particular moment like burned into your memory banks? What did you do once you heard the diagnosis?
Well, and I was surprised at my reaction because, like I'd been volunteering and working with persons with AIDS since '83. So for 3 years I've been doing that. I freaked out because I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was not out to my family, so they didn't know I was gay. And secondly, didn't know I had HIV. So all of that was kind of all together there, and I was trying to, how do I, what in the hell do I do?
Right.
There was a TV program there was a TV show called Early Frost.
Oh, yes, I remember.
And it was about this attorney guy who ends up finding out he's HIV positive. And he has the dilemma that I was sitting with, like, come out, HIV, what do I do? The rest of the stuff, kind of to bring it around HIV-wise, is that the month after, so June of '86, I got a note from the Dallas County Health Department that said, something's come up, we need to talk with you, all that kind of stuff. And what that was in March of '82, I had participated in a hepatitis B study. And at that time, everybody that was in the study, they had our blood.
Okay.
So when the HIV test was available in '85, '86, they went back to all the samples before and found out that in March of '82, I had HIV. And that's how they knew when I was infected, because on January 1st of 1982, I was raped. I was in grad school, so I was in seminary studying.
You were raped?
I was raped. Yeah,
Oh
that was
my
rape.
goodness.
I used to say assault because it was easier to say, and I didn't have to say the R word.
Right.
But yeah, I
Wow.
I do
Wow.
things. I'm
I
very
am so very sorry.
I'm very hyper organized kind of thing. So when I thought I'm going to come out, what's the logical date for coming out? If you're like me, it would be like the first of the year,
Yeah.
like New Year's. So on New Year's Day, I decided I was going to come out.
Sure.
So that evening, I went out and I was carried off against my will by somebody who threw me into his car. It was. I remember seeing the sign on the bank, Oaklawn Bank, saying it was like 11:52 and it was 32 degrees. And he drove us to a park in downtown Baltimore. It was Rivershawn, downtown Baltimore. Hello, downtown Dallas.
Yeah.
Rivershawn Park, dragged me upside the hill and then raped me. And I was absolutely...
And that's where you...
And that's where I got
You
infected.
got infected.
Because, from the rape, I was torn up. I mean, it was
Oh,
completely
my God.
torn
I am
up.
so
I was,
sorry, Chris.
ripped and bleeding, and then I was bloody, and my clothes were all torn up and everything. And
Did you tell your family or no?
oh, and
Because that's
yeah,
a whole nother stigma.
well,
I'm sure.
and the doctor that I had was on the board of directors for the seminary, and I thought, how do I see a doctor and explain to him how my ass is all
Yeah, it's
torn
torn
up
up,
the way it
stressed,
is.
yeah.
So I didn't go to a doctor.
Oh, my
Didn't
God.
do anything, and let it heal up the way.
Oh.
So the only risky thing I was doing at that time was having unprotected sex, but nobody knew that you had to protect yourself
at the time,
at
right.
that time either. So
Right.
anyway, so where am I from here? Getting derailed.
Well, no, it's okay. It's quite
Yeah.
quite all right. I'll bring you back, no problem. We talked a little bit about what your reaction was. So why don't I then ask you, have you come to terms with being HIV positive, and how have you come to terms with it? What are you doing in a demonstration of that acceptance of HIV?
Well, of course, I mean, counseling was, I needed the counseling piece. Way back in 83, well, when I found out was 86. So in 86, they had the very beginnings of services there.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was I put myself in counseling, first of all, to deal with this and to deal with stuff around my father and all that other kind of. So I was basically in pretty intense counseling for about 3 years and dealing with my status, but I mean, I was working in the field of HIV/AIDS anyway, and that certainly helped me a lot.
Yes.
I didn't have to take any medications until '94,
Wow.
but up to that
That's a
time,
good
I'd
long
still
stretch.
been really
You were pretty healthy.
and I was still, so like in '86 and everything, I was in the process of kind of coming out.
Okay.
Basically, was that whole thing. Anyway.
I know it's been a long, varied story. So, why don't I, if you could offer any advice to someone newly infected, what would that advice be, Chris?
Well, the one thing is, I'd say you need to take the bull by the horns. That you need to become like your own best advocate
Yes,
for
absolutely.
everything, for healthcare, for quality of life and everything like that. Also relationships and stuff. You wanna kind of take control as much as you can, and you need to get all the help you can. I don't know if there's anybody with HIV or any other chronic condition that couldn't benefit from good mental health and good
Absolutely.
counseling and all that stuff.
I
So
swear
I'd
by it.
really recommend that. I would say, especially nowadays, they know that if a person's undetectable,
Yeah.
they're not going to transmit HIV.
Yes.
But you got everything else that you can get transmitted the way too. So I'd say you need to use condoms. You need to be on PrEP.
Yeah.
You need to be taking the Truvada the way you're supposed to be taking it. You need to be monitored while you're on that.
Absolutely.
Truvada is not a walk in the park. It's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to afford it, but there are plenty of places that provide it. Same
Free of
thing,
charge, yeah.
right. Same thing with hepatitis C. I mean, if you had to pay for the medication for hepatitis C.
You couldn't afford it.
It's $85,000 for 12 weeks.
Right? Isn't it ridiculous?
Yeah.
Well, that's come down because when I went on it, it was $48,000 a month, which brought me to just under a $1.50, for 3 months supply. So yeah, it's come down a bit. That's good.
But I mean, if you're at a federally qualified health center, then they provide it to you for no cost.
Right. Okay.
So that's what you do. So Chase Braxton, Chase Braxton and University of Maryland are both places like that. I think Johns Hopkins Moore Clinic is also.
Is also okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's one thing that I'd really urge. But the other thing is that I think so much of the gay community has been so marginalized for such a long time that there are a lot of people who have some really serious issues
that are going
in the gay community. They're going undetected.
Absolutely.
And it's other things that can drag you down.
Yes.
Not
but
just
beyond
opioids.
the HIV, yeah.
Right.
I
All that.
couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. And especially now, the political climate that we're entering in right now.
What an oppressive climate we're in.
You now have three branches. All three branches of the government that are supposed to be checks and balances are all in the hands of the crazy Republicans. And that's terrifying.
Terrifying.
And especially, now that they've got control of the Supreme Court, they can go back through and they could attempt to get rid of same-sex marriage. I mean, we're both legally married. We're going to have our 22nd anniversary in October. Well, the 12th of October.
And I'm glad you said that because I think when the next time I come see you, we're going to get into love and relationships. Yeah. So I cannot wait because listening, I don't know many heterosexual marriages that are still going strong at 22 years, let alone a gay one. Right. So we're going to get into that on our next visit.
Cool.
Okay?
Cool. That's fine.
I want to say thank you so much, Chris, for spending this time with me because you have a wealth of information and your story is really quite poignant, and I really am grateful to you for being willing to come forward and share it with us.
Yeah.
Where, again, you are one of my positive friends, and I'm really happy to have you on board here.
Me too.
And I can't wait to spend some more time with you.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.